Hey guys, it's Aackenzie here, and today I'm going to be answering a really common question that we get here at Grad Jobs, which is, I've applied to a job online, but is there anything else I should do? Should I message the company as well? And if so, how do I do that? Who do I message? How many people do I message? All of these questions. Now, before I answer the question, which I will do, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'll do in this video. Comment below, do you think it's appropriate? If so, what do you think is the right strategy? Now, straight into it. What do I think? I think absolutely 100% you should do this. And there are quite a few reasons, but the biggest reason, the most important reason, is when you apply for a job online, your biggest risk, the biggest risk that you face is blending into the sea of hundreds of thousands of applications that all look pretty much the same. And to be quite honest, you could be the best candidate, but if you don't stand out, you're not going to get anywhere. One of the best ways to stand out is to send one of these messages, reach out directly to the company. And the reason I know this, firstly, I've been a hiring manager. I've got my own company and I've hired quite a few people. I've reviewed loads of applications. For one of my roles fairly recently, we got hundreds and hundreds of applicants. So I've been on the hiring side. And I can tell you this, a very small percentage of people, like maybe 1 or 2 in 100 in my experience, actually reach out with a really nice message to the hiring team. They actually go above and beyond to show you how interested they are in the role and try and convince you that you should consider them. And in my experience, having received a few of these messages from people in the past, they are very effective. If you do it properly, they're very effective. For example, one guy who I ended up interviewing for that role I just talked about, he wasn't on my initial shortlist at all. I didn't intend to interview that person, but he sent me a beautiful message on LinkedIn, sent me an email, and I just had to give him a shot. Didn't end up ultimately giving him the role, but he did get an interview just because he sent those messages, right? The second reason I know this works is because what we do at Grad Jobs is specialize in helping people get jobs. We've helped people get about 600 plus offers now, and a lot of them have got jobs when they apply because of the message they sent here, okay? So now the question is, how do you actually do this? How do you actually send this message, and who do you send it to? And the first question we always get is, okay, there's no mention of a hiring manager on the job description. There's no email to contact, nothing. Not even a team that I can contact. Okay, this is really normal. If this happens, it can be very difficult, right? You're not sure who to message. So what we've got to do here, I don't want to tell you exactly who to message. I want to give you a framework so you can think about how to do this for each unique situation that you're going to face, okay? And the way you have to think about it is this. If I was to join this company in this role, who most likely would have some sort of influence on the hiring decision? Now let's just use a hypothetical example. Imagine you are going for a junior data analyst job at a 50-person data consulting company in your town. Now, the structure in this company is probably set up something like you have like the CEO or the founder, you have heads of some of the teams, and then you might have some managers of some of the teams, and then you might have people below that who are maybe senior analysts, then the junior analysts. That might be kind of the hierarchy. And typically, at these kinds of companies, the people who influence the hiring decision could be the CEO, could be the heads of the team, could be managers of the team. And it could also be maybe like an HR manager or a talent acquisition person or the head of people, someone like this. These are the kinds of people who could be involved heavily in the hiring process. So hypothetically, if you had a great relationship with these people, they really liked you, they might be able to, I guess, try and make sure that you at least get an interview, right? So for your specific situation, think, okay, who potentially could be involved in hiring here? And then what I would do is I would reach out to them with the message. Okay, so that's who I would message. And how many of these people would you message? Again, there's no hard and fast rule here, but if you see 3 people who could potentially be involved in the hiring process, if I was in your shoes, I was going for that kind of junior role, I would probably email all 3 with a slightly different message. And the reason I would do that is often people don't see your messages or respond to your messages. They think that it's just spam, or maybe they don't check LinkedIn or their email, or you can't find all their emails. So I would probably, if possible, send like 1, 2, 3 messages to try and get someone's attention. Best case, you're going to get everyone's attention. Worst case, you're only going to get one person's attention and maybe no one's, and that's okay. because we're just giving it our best shot. Now, what do you actually say in this message? I recently posted on LinkedIn giving an exact template for this. In fact, you know what? Let me just bring it up on screen right now. I'll read it out to you exactly what I wrote. And there's no hard and fast rule. I recommend writing this as kind of genuinely as humanly as possible. And don't make it sound like AI. So this is the example I put on LinkedIn. Hi, name. So hi, Steve. Hope you're having a lovely week. I saw you're looking for in this example, junior data analyst at XYZ company, and it got me genuinely excited. So I wanted to reach out and introduce myself personally. Next paragraph. I really admire what XYZ company is doing with mention something specific about like a project they're working on or some sort of client they've had or some sort of achievement. Like mention that you've done your research. I really admire what XYZ company is doing with whatever it is, and I'd love to be part of a team like yours one day. I also feel my background in selling point 1, selling point 2, and selling point 3 could be a really strong fit for what you're looking for. So in that point there, that paragraph, you just want to quickly touch on your 3 biggest selling points for this role. Then next paragraph, if you agree, it would be an honor to be considered for the position. Next paragraph, either way, I wish you and the team all the best with filling the role. Next paragraph, apologies if I've reached out to the wrong person. If so, please feel free to disregard this note. Thank you so much for your time. Kind regards, your name. That's it. We're trying to come across as likable by wishing them a lovely week. I hope you're having a lovely week. Giving them a brief bit of context. I saw you're looking for this role at this company, and showing that we're motivated. It got me really, really excited. So I had to reach out, introduce myself personally, showing that you're so excited, you wanted to reach out, bit of context. Then, I really admire what you're doing at XYZ company, specifically with this. Shows you've done your research, and it again shows that you're genuinely motivated about this specific company. You're not just trying to get into any company, you want to get into this specific company, and saying that you'd love to be part of their team one day. Again, showing you're motivated. Then, in the next paragraph, I also feel my background in XYZ selling points could be a strong fit for you. And this is where you can convince them, hey, I actually have a lot of value to bring. Here are the 3 most powerful things I can bring you in this role. See, again, you're kind of selling yourself. If you agree, it would be an honor to be considered. Again, making the ask to be considered for the position. And it's very likable because you're saying it would be an honor to be considered. So very humble, not arrogant, not demanding, just very likable, this message. On top of that, you wish the team the very best in filling the role. So again, this is just making you come across like a very professional, positive, nice person. And if you reach out to the wrong person, right, because sometimes you will reach out to the wrong person, they're not involved with hiring, you include this note. Apologies if I've reached out to the wrong person. Please feel free to disregard this message. So thank you so much for your time, your name. Then you can attach your resume, customize for that role. So that's an example of how to do it. Just to recap everything we've covered in this video. So should you message when you've just applied? In my opinion, absolutely. Who do you message? Try to figure out who might be involved, who could potentially be involved in the hiring for this, who could influence this. Maybe it's the CEO of a small company, maybe it's the head of the team, director, partner, manager in that team, someone involved with talent acquisition, HR, head of people, something like that. Now, how many of these people do you message? 1, if possible. If you notice a few people who could be related, like the talent person and the manager and the CEO, maybe message all 3. I probably wouldn't message too many more, like 3 is probably enough in most situations, but again, it really depends. And if you're doing that, I'd recommend just tweaking it a little bit depending on the person so it doesn't just look copy-pasted. Just make sure that message is good, because sometimes if it's done in the wrong way, that could backfire. And what do you send? I've just explained a couple of times an example of what you can send. Now, really important here, don't just copy it word for word, just be really human. Anything AI sounding these days is getting ignored a lot of the time, so just be super human, add your unique voice and language here, kind of get to the point, give them the context, be really likable, and make a small ask in that message. So that's pretty much it. Hope that was helpful. Any follow-up questions, let me know in the comments. And if there's anything else you'd like me to cover in these videos, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Good luck with the job search.